Have you heard about the court case involving the arson attack on Prime Minister Keir Starmer's properties? It has received almost no coverage in the mainstream media. In this video, George Galloway shares his take on the story while we explore how the principle of character applies here. Let's get into the details.
But no part of the British media, none, zero, broadcaster or newspaper, is covering the fact that at the end of this month, 3 Ukrainian rent boys are on trial for allegedly arsoning the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Yes, arsoning. Rent boys, massage artists, male models, every one of them a Ukrainian, is charged with arsoning Keir Starmer's front door, his back door, his vehicle, his former vehicle, his former back door, and his former front door. 2 separate residences, 2 separate vehicles were inexplicably arsoned, allegedly, by these 3 Ukrainian rent boys. Now, if this were happening to me or any other citizen in the land, every person in Britain would be fully conversant and would be speculating wildly on exactly why these Ukrainian rent boys allegedly arsoned the British Prime Minister. But not one news report, not one analysis, not one deep dive has occurred into the extraordinary circumstances of a serving British Prime Minister being singled out for reasons we know not why, allegedly, by 3 Ukrainian rent boys. And very pretty boys they were, too. The men are pleading not guilty. They may very well be innocent of this heinous crime of arsoning. But they may very well have to be cross-examined. They may very well have to be examined. They may have to undergo all kinds of tests. But by the end of the trial, we'll know one whole lot more about just what they had held against the British Prime Minister. These 3 rings of siege are definitely going to see the end of Keir Starmer.
Can you imagine a court case about an arson attack on a political leader's home with very little coverage? No real analysis or deep dive from the mainstream media? Well, this is exactly what is happening with Keir Starmer's alleged Ukrainian rent boys arson attack. No analysis, deep dive, or anything on this extraordinary situation from the mainstream media. And neither any questions about it in the House of Commons to Starmer from any politician. Was that why he was so quick to prorogue Parliament? According to Dr Myles Munroe, character is defined as a commitment to a set of values without compromise, a dedication to a set of standards without wavering. This arson attack story stands as a real-world test of character under scrutiny. Even the perception of ethical compromise matters because character is about consistency under pressure, not just legal guilt. When we choose leaders who are atheists or leaders who have no Judeo-Christian values, do you expect them to do things based on Judeo-Christian values or principles? No, and do not get me wrong. I am not saying that the Prime Minister did anything wrong. I am just saying that the appearance in this case does not look good. You can imagine if this was President Trump or Nigel Farage caught up in such a case. Whether alleged or not, it would have been on every mainstream media outlet day and night announcing how disgusting these men are. But no, it is Mr. Perfect Keir Starmer. No one dare say a word, or else. Selective outrage itself reveals a lack of consistent standards. Exactly what character-based leadership should reject. While it could be argued that some mainstream media reported the arrests and court proceedings, coverage has been relatively low-key compared to what a similar story involving Trump or Farage might have received. When you look at the millions being sent to Ukraine, with $3 billion per year guaranteed for up to 100 years for its security, while our own military is underfunded, which was exposed by the war in Iran, you have to ask the question, is the Prime Minister severely compromised in any way here? These policy choices stand as possible symptoms of compromised judgment for leverage. Starmer has been going through scandal after scandal and terrible decision making. Now this Rent Boys arson attack case has added to his mounting turmoil. Integrity is not optional for high-stakes roles because compromise creates leverage points such as blackmail, distraction, or poor judgment. Judeo-Christian values are the bedrock that made Britain great. And when you throw its values and principles out the window, you are left with no moral compass. Anything goes. This is a historical route we came from, where those values gave the nation strength versus today's vacuum. Whenever you're a leader, especially a political leader, tests will come. For decades, we have seen the test of sex destroy leaders no matter how strong or how powerful they were. The moral standard against committing adultery and not looking at a person with lust still applies today. And if you are willing to follow these guidelines, it is difficult for you as a leader to fail the test, because it is failing this test that not only leaves you exposed and vulnerable, but also the nation. Leaders who commit to uncompromised values are harder to blackmail, distract, or corrupt. When a leader operates without that foundation, the whole country feels a vulnerability. That is the heart of it. Character is the ultimate safeguard for a true leader and the nation. Do you believe that Britain needs leaders with character? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.